Mentioned about gold plating of Tirupati. Tirupati was taken over by the government in 1933. And suddenly, the chairman of the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam Board, Government of India Board, was a man called Adi Kesavalu, whose business was liquor. Imagine, for managing the finances of Tirupati, the government appointed a liquor merchant. And he comes up with this idea that I am going to gold plate the walls of Tirupati, Tirumala, sanctum sanctorum. And he makes a lot of drama and all that, collects gold galore. The whole idea was to collect gold, put some of it in the temple and then keep the rest. So the Agama Shastris who are affiliated with Tirupati, they came to me, said this is the proposal will be done for. So I went and filed a writ petition in the Andhra Pradesh High Court, saying that Tirupati is a religious temple. Under the law, government can appoint a board to manage the finances because there has been mismanaged. Even on that, I have got another court case pending which will start on 26th August, that if a government takes over a temple for financial mismanagement, then it must correct that mismanagement and return back the temple after 3 years. They cannot keep on having it. The job of the government to run it. But here I say this is not financial management. This is your interfering with the structure of the temple itself. I said they are going to cover gold, the walls, and the walls are full of epigraphs, you see. How Naivedyam should be prepared, how Prasad Laddu should be prepared. Everything is written on the wall. So Mr. Adhikeshwar files an affidavit in court saying, I've taken care of that, I have videoed the entire wall and I'm putting the CD in the museum. And people who want to see this epigraph can go to the museum. So I said, why not do also the Archana and Suprabhatam, everything on CD and let everybody see in the museum. But the biggest disclosure came when I asked, how are you going to put the gold on the walls? So he said, I'll put it on a board, all the gold sheets, and then I will drill 10,000 holes through the walls of the Tirupati Sanctum Sanctorum and hang these boards. Then the court said, this is too much. And they gave the judgment in my favor, cancelling that GO. He went to the Supreme Court, he got a thrashing there also. So now Tirupati is safe. Same way Ram Setu. They wanted to earn money on drilling a canal. You see, the secret was, first of course, Karnanidhi thought, okay, let me break Ram Setu and then the minorities will love me. In fact, he told them, they broke Babri Masjid, I will break Ram Setu for you. So, but the real secret was that when the canal was dug, the ocean will go on depositing sand again. So every week you have to dredge the sand out. And that is a 1,000 crore rupee per year contract. And it was awarded by T.R. Balu to one of his sons through one of his wives. He also has multiple wives.
Many wives.
Yeah. And he got this contract. Then the digging of the canal will be only 11 feet. Big ships of over 30,000 tonnage cannot go through that. They will sink. So only those ships which are less than 30,000 tons can go through that canal when built. And what is percentage of the ships are of such weight today? Only 5%. 95% are in the 1 lakh ton class. So who are these people who are going to bring the 30,000 ton They are all T.R. Balu's King Fishing Vessels Company, which had only 30,000 and less trawlers for catching fish. So there they defame Ram or commit blasphemy, and at the same time earn money. So this corruption has gone to the state where even your heritage is going to be ruined. Your national security is ruined. Your economy is ruined. And now your culture is also going to be ruined. Culture has a widespread impact. And we have to therefore fight it in a way in which nobody will ever do corruption again. People have suggested many cures. One of them is tighter laws. I have shown you by going to the Supreme Court and getting cases registered. I myself argued them, sending many people to jail. And the trial proceedings are going on very well. I hope by the end of this year, Raja will not only go to jail on custody, but also will be convicted. Then one by one, others also will get convicted. But there is one law, one section of the Jan Lokpal bill of Anna Hazare, which I support. The bill as a whole has lots of things which, even if it's not there, it doesn't matter. But there is one thing there which does matter, and that is the appointment of an independent prosecutor, which will be the Lok Ayukt, and or Lokpal as it's called. Lok Ayukt is in the state level, Lokpal is the central level. The Lokpal is the equivalent of what was appointed when Clinton had this affair with that Monica Lewinsky. I don't forget his name. Ken Starr. Before that, there was, I think, Jaworski or somebody who was appointed during the Watergate. American laws has it. Hong Kong was a very corrupt country. But they appointed this independent prosecutor, and within 10 years, they became the cleanest country in Asia. What happens is, if you have an independent prosecutor, you don't have to ask permission. Like I had to ask permission from Prime Minister. I won't have to ask. So therefore, this will be a short-term measure. Because we need to prosecute and convict people fast. On 8th of January 2008, there was a press conference in Hyderabad addressed by Ramalinga Raju of Satyam, in which he said that I have done fraud with my bank, with my company accounts, and I'm willing to pay any price for it, suffer any punishment. Around the same time, I think the 7th of January, in New York, Bernard Madoff was addressing a press conference in New York, saying with a Ponzi scheme, I have deprived people of their pension funds, and I feel bad about it. I'm ready to be prosecuted, and I'm ready to suffer any punishment. Within 6 months, what did you find? Madoff was convicted for 150 years and has gone to jail. But Ramalinga Raju is still in air-conditioned hospital rooms. Nothing has happened to him. Now that must go. We are fortunate that we have one demonstrated example, and that is 2G. That's because the Supreme Court took all the monitoring on itself. We have to really thank the present Chief Justice of India, Mr. Kapadia. He's a Parsi gentleman and a distinguished lawyer. Before that was Balakrishnan. They passed through him. In fact, some of the money might have stopped with him also. So, therefore, leadership matters. Individuals matter. One Kapadia has changed the character of the Supreme Court today. So, our system, Our country doesn't need people coming on the road like in Egypt or in Libya or Syria. We have institutions that can be made to work, provided you instill courage in our people. In the short run, yes, have laws, strengthen them, and tell people to produce results. This entire parliament, all they did was did a walkout. They did nothing. I kept telling them, let's go to court. Nobody wanted to go to court. Because some members of the opposition also have something to hide. So they don't, Congress party doesn't mind if you just do Allah Gullah and walk out. Because you walk out, then you can pass anything you want without the opposition sitting there. So that's why I went to court. But in my opinion, those are short-term measures. Long-term measures is what I call as Hindutva measures. You see, why is there so much corruption? It is because of greed. And greed comes because your mind becomes focused on materialistic.